Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, we're going to look at the simple idea of basic operations, which include addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And we're going to illustrate the process using very simple examples. So the first example here is about in the first two rounds of a tournament, a golfer shot a 4 under par and a 5 under par. So this is the value that he got. And what was her score after two rounds? Now, usually when you have something that is under par or above par, you can represent the idea of under par using a negative sign. So when it is under par, you have the value of -4, and if it is above par, then you can have a value which has a positive sign. So when we try to come up with the basic operation of this example, it's going to look like this process, which is we have -4 plus -5. So the negative sign here is to demonstrate that the result here is under par, under. So now if you add them up together, it's going to be -4 minus 5, which is -9. So the answer here we got over here, which is -9, means, or it can be translated into a sentence, which is something like this. Her score is 9 under par. So the value of negative sign over here is representing the fact that it is under par. Her score is 9 under par. Now let's look at another example. Ahmad spent RM 130 for a book. So usually when you spend something, you spend money on something, this will be denoted with a negative sign. And when the cost was over, he sold the used book for 65 ringgit. So he gained back the money, which is amounting to 65 ringgit. So when you gain the money, you have a positive sign. Usually you can represent it as such. So the question is asking what was Ahmad's overall cost for the book. So we are going to apply the idea of negative sign and positive sign into this problem. So we start off with having negative 130 ringgit. Why we have negative? Because he spent the money, and he gained some money by selling the book after the end of the course. So he gained money, so plus 65 ringgit, and the answer is going to be negative 65. Okay, so the word negative here means that he spent money. So the answer that we got here, which is negative 65, can be translated into a statement, which means that the overall cost is RM 65 ringgit. Okay, so he spent 65 ringgit for the book. Okay, right. Next is the idea of having water level of a lake dropped 5 feet each month during September, October, and November. So when you talk about dropping, you can associate the value here with a negative sign. So what we have over here is we have -5 times 3, because it dropped 5 feet for 3 consecutive months. So you can just times 3. So this is the multiplication process, and the answer is going to be -15. So what is the meaning of the word negative here? It means that in the 3-month period, if you want to translate the meaning of -5, it can be translated as something like this. In the 3-month period, the water level, so we can say that the water level dropped. So that's the meaning of having a negative sign here. So the water level dropped a total of 15 feet. Okay, so when you talk about dropping at some value, we can represent it by a negative value. Okay. Now, the value of a building in a deserted town declined steadily over 10 years. So it's going down. And so we can talk about that declination using a negative sign. So negative 44,500 ringgit. So what was the average change per year? So the average change for a year is going to be negative 44,500 divided by 10, so you get the answer is negative 4450, and this answer can be translated into a statement which says that on average the value of a building declined at RM 4450 per year. So what I'm trying to say here is when you have negative 4450 over here, it represents this part, the part that it is declined at 4450 RM 4450. Okay, so basically that's the basic operation. Now let's see if we have some sort of operations that are combined together. For example, you have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division that are combined in one big mathematical expression. So how can we evaluate the expression given? Bear in mind that everything has to be worked from left to right. So whenever you have the innermost round brackets, this is what you have to solve first. You have to to make sure that the terms inside the brackets is solved first, and next you can perform either multiplications or division, whichever comes first, and finally you can do addition or subtraction, whichever comes first when you work from left to right. So now let's see the whole thing that we've seen here. So first of all, we're always going to work from left to right. So we will have something that looks like this. We have 4, and then this is the big bracket here, so I'm just going to write down. So 10 minus 4, so this is multiplied with this is the innermost bracket that you can solve first. So negative 2 plus 6 is going to be equal to 4, and then plus, we've got this term over here, 2 plus 9 over 3 plus 10 times 2. So next we're going to have this thing. We can see that this is already solved. So when you work from this to this one, you know that we need to do 4, 10 minus, so we can solve this one, 4 times 4, which is 16, plus 2 plus 9 over here, 3 plus 10 times 2. So next we're going to solve this bracket. So we have 4, 10 minus 16 is negative 6. Yeah. And then we have over here, in order to do the process first, we have to solve the upper part first. So 2 plus 9 is 11. And down below here we have 3 plus 20. Yes, 3 plus 20. So next we got here negative 24 plus 11 over 23. Okay, and if you punch in your calculator, hang on. Okay, so we've got negative 24 plus 11 over 23. The answer is going to be about negative 541 over 23. Okay, so I think that's about it. Okay, right. Now let's move on to the next slide, which is this one here. So here if we got real numbers which are given as w, x, y and z, then if you want to solve the arithmetic for quotients, some of the examples are given as follows. For example, if you have, in the first one here, if you have w over x plus y over z, if you want to solve something related to quotient, this is quotient, what you need to do is you need to make sure that the denominator here is you got the common denominator. So what you can do is you can multiply x and z together, and then you will bring this over, so this will be multiplied with w, so we have wz over here, plus this will be multiplied with x and y, so we've got that one. Okay, next for this one, if you have multiplication w over x plus y over z, multiplication, then you just multiply the terms together accordingly. So the top part is wy, and then this one you got xz. Okay, well, for the third one here, what you have is you have got w over x over y over z, and this can be the same thing as having w over x times 1 over y over z. So that's the same thing, and you can simplify that by having w over x times z over y. So this one is the same thing as z over y, and you just multiply them together from the top part, so we've got wz over xy. Okay, so that is pretty straightforward, something that you have already seen before, I believe. Now let us try to solve this simple question here. So we've got 6 over 2 plus 4 over 5, and that one we can start off by finding what's the common denominator. So it will be 2 times 5 is 10, 5 times 6 is 30, plus 2 times 4 is 8. So that's the first part. And the second one here, we've got 3 over 4 over 5 over 8, so we've got 3 over 4. I'm just going to simplify it straight away. So 3 over 4 times 8 over 5, so that has been switched accordingly according to this formula here. Okay, so we got 3 over 4 times 8 over 5, and then we've got minus 2 over 3 over 2. This is the same thing as multiply 2 over 3. So I'm just using this rule over here again. And then let's simplify the result. So we've got 38 over 10. So this one we've got, this one can be cancelled too. So we've got 6 over 5 over here. And then this one is we got minus 4 over 3. And then we got 38 over 10. This one is 15, 18 minus 20. So we've got 38 over 10. This is negative 2 over 15. And you can get the final answer of that is it's going to be negative 38 over 75. Okay, so that's the final answer. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.